Hey y'all, I thought I would jump on here real quickly, and I'm going to be making bread today. So I have my wheat berries ready. That's hard white, hard red wheat berries. I have my Wonder Mill grain mill, and I have done a video before where you put the wheat berries in here and grind them up, and when it comes into this canister, it has turned into fresh milled wheat flour. And as you've seen before, this flour has 40 of the 44 essential vitamins and minerals that your body needs on a daily basis. This is what we call real bread. So I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to grind my wheat berries, and I'll come back. I'm going to give you a play-by-play how I make the bread. See you in a minute. Okay, y'all, I have ground my wheat berries. I'm getting ready to pop this canister open so you can see what it looks like. It has this little cup thing up here, and that's to keep the flour circulating while it's grinding. Put this down real quick. So here is our fresh milled wheat flour. Now I ground 3.5 cups of hard white, 3.5 cups of hard red wheat, and that should make about 9 cups of the fresh milled wheat flour. Now this flour is so soft. So now I'm going to get ready to start the bread making process. Be back in a minute. Okay, y'all, now I'm ready to start the bread. So I have 3 cups of hot water. It's 110 degrees. I'm going to put it in my Bosch mixer. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this Bosch mixer. In goes 2 tablespoons of, I use the instant yeast. I get it from, it's kind of a bulk thing. I get it from Amazon, but you can get it from other places. And then also 2 cups of the fresh milled flour is going to go into this mixer. I'll turn this around where you can see it in a second. This is going to start what they call an autolyze process. So let me turn this around where you can see it. In my mixer, I have the 2 cup, well, actually it's 3 cups of water, 2 cups of flour, and 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons yeast. Now I'm going to mix this up really good, and then I'm going to put my lid on it. And let it sit for about 15-20 minutes, and that's going to be the autolyze process. It allows the yeast to bloom. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, y'all, the 20 minutes, I think I put the timer on 20 minutes to let the yeast bloom. So let me show you what this looks like. I'm going to lower this and hopefully let you see inside the mixing bowl. And so you can see that the yeast has bloomed up and it's still blooming. You see the bubbles popping even. And so now, I don't know if I can get this where you can actually see it when I put things in there, or if it's going to be, I think I won't try that. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing here, because the mixer is very loud. I've tried to let the mixer run while I talked, and you can't hear anything I'm saying. So once we get to this point where we have our water, our yeast, and 2 cups of flour in the Bosch mixer. Now, my grandmother told me years ago, you need to have the right casserole dish for given casseroles. You need to have the right appliances, the right tools for the different things that you're mixing. Now, if you're going to be serious about making the bread, the Bosch mixer, I have my kids bought me a Bosch Universal Plus mixer for Christmas, and I will tell you, it's worth every penny. Now my grain mill over here, which I've showed you before. Let me see if I can turn it. This grain mill is a Wonder Mill, and the Breadbecker lady has had hers for decades. It still works. So these are workhorses. The Bosch mixer is German made. It's a workhorse. So, and I'm not sure about who makes this Wonder Mill grain mill, but it lasts for decades. So having these tools makes it so much easier than trying to make it in your KitchenAid. You can make the bread in your KitchenAid. It's not going to hold up like the Bosch mixer. You'll be glad you switched if you do get one. So at this point, since our yeast has finished blooming, I'm adding, now I put these together. Because I'm making 4 loaves, because I can make multiple loaves in this Bosch mixer. You cannot do that in a KitchenAid. It won't hold up. I put 2/3 cup of honey and 2/3 cup of extra virgin co-packed olive oil. I get my olive oil from Azure Standard. They deliver here once a month. And I have local Arkansas honey for my honey. I have used honey that's organic, so either way. I try to do as much with organic as I possibly can. In goes the honey and the olive oil. Next, I add 2 organic eggs. I found these interesting. One's, I don't know if you can see it, one's yellow, one's kind of orange. 2 organic eggs are going in. 2 tablespoons of sunflower lecithin. This helps, you have to keep it refrigerated. I got it from Amazon, but it helps the bread stay together. And then 4 tablespoons of salt. 4 teaspoons of salt. I'm gonna add the salt after I add some more of this flour. So the whole recipe calls for 9 cups plus about 4 tablespoons of the flour. So I'm going to go ahead and add, this is 3. And the reason I'm not adding the last 3 or 4 tablespoons is that humidity affects bread, and it's been raining, and so I'm going to kind of wait and see how it actually does. Now, I'm going to add, looking at my recipe, 4 teaspoons. I use organic Redmond's sea salt. I actually started buying it in a bag, and I just keep refilling this shaker because I can shake it or I can spoon out. So 4 teaspoons of the organic Redmond's, I guess it's organic. Does it say organic? It doesn't say organic, but anyway, it's I found it to be the best salt. It has the vitamins, or has the minerals, you know, that these other salts have bleached out. Okay, so now I'm turning this on. I'll be back when it gets to the place where we're going to start kneading it. The mixer for a minute to say this about the salt. You want to be sure you add your salt last after you put more flour in there, because salt and yeast, the salt affects the yeast and may cause the yeast to not rise like it's supposed to. So that was just a little tidbit I meant to tell you a while ago. Okay, y'all, I had finished the kneading process. It took about 9 or 10, maybe 11 minutes. So this is what your dough looks like. That is some wonderful, wonderful, look how soft that dough is. Wonderful dough. And I'm going to take it out and put it in this pan that I have put olive oil in. Because I broke my wrist in January, my left wrist and hand is not very, it doesn't like to hold on to stuff very long, so get that in there. I keep that splint on it to help it. Anyway, there's our, and so I did not show you that. What you want to do is the window pane test. If you can spread it out like this where you can almost see through it and it not break apart, it's ready. The kneading process is done. So I have turned it over, so I have olive oil on both sides of my bread. Now this is enough dough for 4 loaves of bread. Now I may make 3 loaves and do something else, like maybe, I don't know, I'll do something else. Or I may make 4 loaves. Anyway, there's our bread. I'm covering it with a tea towel. And I'm gonna put it in my oven with the light on. The light on is enough heat in the oven to help your bread to rise. So the bread is going to rise for an hour. And then I'll check it to see if it's doubled in bulk. And if it is, then I'll come back and show you how I roll out these loaves. Okay, y'all, I just pulled the bread dough out of the oven. I think my oven was maybe, had a little bit of heat in it from when I made something earlier. So now I'm gonna press this dough down. That is some really good dough, y'all. So you just press it down. I'm gonna pour it out onto my, well, let me, before I do that, I'm going to, I have a paper towel with a little bit of olive oil on it. I don't use flour to roll out my bread because too much flour makes your bread kind of tough. So look how soft that dough is. Oh my gosh, that is some beautiful dough. Okay, I'm going to divide this dough in 4 parts because I'm making 4 loaves. I may bake all 4, I may bake 3 and do something else with the other one. But I'm also going to weigh these dough pieces out because I want them to be about the same. Look at that dough. Is that gorgeous dough? Man, I'm telling you, that is some really soft dough. Okay. I've already got my bread pans buttered over there. I'm gonna measure them out, and then I'm gonna roll one out and put it in the pan. I get the USA bread pans. They're non-stick. I do put a little bit of butter in there just because I want to. So I have my scale. Right over here. I want 1.25 ounces of bread dough. That's what I'm going to put in each one of those bread pans, and that's 1.39. This is 1.16. I need to add some of that back. Okay, perfect. So this one's ready. Moving these out of the way that I don't need. Now you want to, I typically use my rolling pin because I want it to be without bubbles. And you want to make it about the same width as your pan. And as you roll it out, you can watch the bubbles pop. This one needs to be a little bit wider. Okay. That's about right. A little bit wider. Some people can just pat it out, but I haven't had very much luck with that. So you're going to bring about 1/3 up, 1/3 down. Okay. Now you're going to press it, get all the air out. And then you're going to pull and tuck, pull, tuck, pull. I guess it's kind of pull away from you and push. And so you're going to end up with this. I want to go under here and kind of mash that seam down. Now you want to pull the top of that and tuck it under, because you want to have a pretty end. And I pull. Same with this. And I still want to mash those seams together. This one needs to go under a little more. So let me press that under. And then I take it each side and kind of pull it toward me. Let me see how that looks. Okay, that's it. Put it in your pan. And I kind of mash it down some. I'm gonna set that over here. Okay, y'all, I'll be back after I get all 4 of the loaves in the pans. Okay, y'all, here's our 4 loaves. Now what I'm gonna do is, hopefully you can see those. I'm going to cover them with my tea towel and have to rise about 45 minutes. I'm gonna take them into an area of my house that's not, you know, too cool. I usually take them into my dryer and turn the dryer on. Anyway, I will bring you back when I'm gonna put them in the oven. Okay, y'all, I just now checking my breads. It's time to put them in the oven. Okay, so 4 loaves are going in, and I'll be back when they come out. Okay, y'all, here are the loaves of bread. 4 loaves, they bake nicely. My oven bakes a little bit hot, and so I put it on 330 instead of 350. And what you want to do when you take them out, you leave them in the pan 10 minutes, then take them out, and you're going to roll them over on their side so that, which I'm Can't hardly do it with one hand. You're gonna roll them over on their side, and that allows them to not smush down as they're cooling. So I hope that helps you know how to bake bread. See y'all.